Have you felt recently like you are on a roller coaster ride energetically that just won't end? It's like the eclipse and the world wars and all the drama. And now we have another conjunction and everything is exploding and I just want to feel safe. Well, welcome to the ascension to the fifth dimension. It is a tumultuous process and it is affecting us energetically and physically. My name's Sonia Choquette. Welcome to my channel. And if you're coming back, it's good to see you again. And if you're here for the first time, I'm so happy you're here because today we're talking about what the heck is going on and how to feel safe in an experience that is so unfamiliar and feels so unsettled. So as you know, and as you can feel, whether you've been following me or anything or not, this world is quite unsettled. And the truth is, when things change and they're not familiar, our first instinct is to feel danger. And if we're going to rely only on what we're being reflected back to us by the news, rightly so, right? But there's more than meets the eye. What is happening is the old systems that have been running this planet not very well, if you look at the end results of everything around us, are in their last coughing breaths trying to hold on, but this new frequency, which is the frequency of the spirit waking up in all of us, is pushing through. And just like I watch the plants outside my window in the garden growing have to push through and erupt the earth, that's what's happening for us. There's this new focus, this new life and new hope and new beginnings and new beauty is coming through, but it is disrupting the old. And we're kind of in the middle. It's like the roller coaster. Now, for us personally, what's happening is our inner senses are coming back online. You know the senses you felt along the way in your life, that feeling like maybe, hey, there's more than meets the eye, or what's going on around here? And people have told you, you're nuts, you're crazy, stop being woo-woo, that's not real. And we shoved them back down. Well, they're not to be shoved down anymore. We are starting to sense more than we can see. We're getting the bigger picture. We're starting to read the room. We can energetically feel more than we've been taught to acknowledge, that there's more than just what is physically real. Energy is real, emotions are real, thoughts are real, intentions are real, and they also saturate the energy field that we swim in and move in. We've been starting to reawaken that protective inner sense in us that says, whoa, wait a minute, this isn't so good for me, even though I can't pinpoint specifically why at the moment because it's hidden. I don't feel good. And we're starting to recognize it, denying that and just carrying on and putting ourselves in a bad situation, or staying connected to relationships that are toxic, or staying committed to work scenarios that really drain us, or giving our power away to people who bully us or invite us to keep abandoning ourselves is no longer an option. Even if we're willing, we can't do so willingly without a lot of negative consequences. We're all leveling up, and it's exciting, but it's not easy. It is like the roller coaster. When we get in line, we wait and wait and wait, and we question ourselves, why am I doing this? Is this worth it? And then we get on and go, oh my God, why? Especially at that first climb. Am I even here? But you know what? Our soul signed up for this exciting episode on the evolutionary journey of humans, and you've got this. And like the roller coaster, it's uncomfortable, but if we breathe into it and we pay attention and we just enjoy the experience, we're going to be okay. Now, one specific thing I want to talk about this week is that our inner senses coming online does have a big effect, and we have to make allowances for that. I want to share a story with you to that effect. When I grew up, I had a mom who was affected by her very disruptive, very, very horrific, actually, experiences in World War II when she was in a prison camp. And she had to fend for herself as a child. She lost her family. She lost her roots. She was with strangers, and she got very, very sick. And that consequently caused her to lose her hearing. Now, long story short, she was, in fact, able to survive. She married my father and came to America when she was only 15. But her hearing was gone. Instead of being able to hear the outer world, she turned into the inner world, and she listened to vibration to help her navigate her life. And she taught us to do the same, her 7 kids. And so you'd think that was a problem, but she used to say, I'm so glad I don't have to hear all this noise, all this drama, all this upset, because it's not real. It's just people's fears, and I'm not subjected to it. Still, we as her kids thought it would be better if she could hear, and we always considered it a handicap and a disability that could be overcome. So when hearing aids improved, because she could lip read, and she did have hearing aids that were really inefficient, and she was able to grasp by deep concentration what was going on around her, we decided that if we got her a hearing aid, that would really improve her life. And so when new technology came along and new hearing aids were eventually designed, of course, we all ran and said, we got something, a present for you, a new hearing aid. And I remember so well going with my sister to put the hearing aid on and to have that experience. So we went into the audiologist, and they put on the hearing aid, and she was excited, and we were excited in them, and she put it on and turned it on. Instead of excitement, she seized up and said, stop, it's too noisy. And she ripped it out of her ears and said, no, it's too much, because that surge of vibration that she was now exposed to overwhelmed her. And it was not what we expected. And it was disturbing, actually. And she was a bit traumatized to be reintroduced to all this, expansive input that she had not had available to her since she was 12. So it took a while for her to adjust. It took her nervous system and her consciousness a while to begin to assimilate and put this new information, even just process it and put it to work. Another time I watched a TV show where science, and I think I spoke about this in a previous video, scientists were able to help a man replace some malfunction in his vision, and taught him and gave him back the capacity to see. But again, it was confusing, and though his eyes worked, his brain didn't work. And it took a while for his brain to learn that this information he was taking in was something he could put to use. Well, it's no different with us as we ascend to the 5th dimension. Our inner senses, our clairvoyance, our ability to see past appearances, our clairaudience, the ability to hear vibration, not just sound. In the 3rd dimension, our ability to clairsentience, to feel in our heart, in our high heart, our gut, intention and emotion and the way energy is unfolding, that also takes a little bit for us to assimilate and adjust to, especially if we have been taught our entire lives to doubt that experience or deny it, or have even been punished for having had a non-spontaneous experience of that as a child. I mean, have you ever said, oh, I don't like Aunt Mary, and you've been told that's not nice, when in fact Aunt Mary or whomever was really toxic and not to be trusted? Have you ever said, oh, Uncle Joe, he's being inappropriate with me, and instead of being supported, you were admonished for being rude, and you were told to doubt yourself, or you were punished for your accurate perceptions? So, of course, this ascension is going to take a minute to assimilate and to find your confidence and to reclaim your authority and to take back your sense of trusting yourself. And please do give that to yourself. It's not just, oh, flip on the light switches and we're good to go. You've been conditioned to abandon yourself. For so many of us, we've been conditioned that if you have vibes or you have intuition, you're woo-woo and weird and you've been laughed at, then you're not going to just all of a sudden say, oh, no big deal. We have to reacclimate. So I'm going to give you some tools on how to do that. First, one of the things I would recommend is I have a tool if you're brand new to this and you have no concept, but you're experiencing all this and you're confused. And is it my mind? Am I weird? Am I what? Am I in my head? I know a lot of people are. I was visiting a woman the other day and I was trying on a dress and she said, this is your time. I want to be helpful to you, but I've read your books and I follow you on Instagram and YouTube. And I just have a question. I really want to be in my intuition, but I'm just stuck up here in my head and thoughts and thoughts and thoughts. I can't get out. And she said, so I don't want to intrude, but can you help me there? And it's like, yeah, what you want to do is a tool I call empty the garbage. Just whenever those thoughts are, just name them out loud and know that most of them are fears and not facts. They're not facts. They're fears of what could happen or what might be or what someone said or am I doing it right? It's all the authorities in the past that have taken your power away, clamping on, trying to keep you small. So see it as emptying the garbage by just naming your fears, taking a breath between every one and saying, well, what is a fact right now? The sun is shining. My body is healthy if you're so fortunate. I'm here safe and sound if you're so fortunate. I'm okay. And just stay present. That's how you stay present. I wrote a book called 21 Days to Jumpstart Your Intuition. It's by Hay House. This is a very good manual for those of you just coming online and not really sure what's fact, what's fiction, what's fear, what's my vibes, how do I turn this up, how do I tune out the noise? This will help you. And it's little tiny baby steps, one a day for 21 days to bring you gracefully into the fifth dimension. So that could be a tool. The other thing is to know that you're not crazy, you're not nuts, the world is changing, and frankly, just like people who used to tell you the earth was flat, when it isn't, the information you received earlier in your life was wrong. And so it's okay to say, well, whatever you're saying, I trust my inner experience. It works for me. You don't have to impose it on other people, and more importantly, you don't have to get anyone's permission to have your ability to trust your vibes and your own experience. Another tool of mine is my book, Trust Your Vibes. I don't have a copy with me because I tend to give them away as fast as I can, but Trust Your Vibes is such a laid out great manual for you, and that's another really good one. It's a tool. I mean, my whole life is devoted to these tools and these instructions, so they're available. What I want you to note this week and what's most important is to, one, share with me in the comments, what is your experience of your intuition coming online? I remember with my mom, after she actually eventually agreed to this new hearing aid, one day I was taking her for a car drive because we lived in Colorado and she loved to go to the mountains. She said, turn on the radio. And so I turned on classical music because she really loved it. And she said, oh, Sonia, I can hear that. It's so beautiful. And then she looked at me and she said, can you believe I could hear that? Not just the music internally, but this? This is quite remarkable. It's a miracle. And I remember we just drove in silence while she kind of bopped along to the music, just enjoying this experience that she had to get used to again. She had hearing as a child. She lost it and had to come back online. And just like we have our inner senses as a child that we got disconnected from and they're coming back online. So share with us the experience, good, bad, or whatever, and know that these senses coming back online is part of what the fifth dimension is, that I can feel, experience, be, and create in more than the physical world that appears to contain and limit me. It's a very exciting time, but it's intense, like the roller coaster. And we need to get on board gracefully Be good to yourself. Please, please, please share your comments, share your experiences, because it's important, not just for me, but for others to recognize so many of us are having this simultaneously, that it's okay. That we're all going to be weirdos and woo-woos together as we level up and we start to empower ourselves with senses that we need to guide us, to protect us, and to help us create. Thanks for tuning in. If you're new to my channel and you haven't thought about it, please give me a thumbs up. Better yet, subscribe. Tell your friends. Come back next week. I send you all my love, and I can hardly wait to hear from you. See you next week. Bye, everyone.